Was that Jasmine Crockett? What's love got to do with it? Hi, Aria. Today's White House press conference. Let's go.
Wow. We have a very packed room here
Let's
today.
go.
Thank you all so much for showing up and for joining. I apologize for the delay. The president and I were watching the press conference about the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, which is just a heartbreaking situation. The president
seems more like a distraction from the latest Epstein files tranche.
As you all know, spoke directly with Savannah yesterday and told her that the federal government is here.
I'm not paying attention to that whatsoever. I have no idea what she's talking about, not even on my radar screen. What's going on?
To help any requests that are made by state and local officials in the search of Miss Guthrie will absolutely be accommodated. I spoke with the FBI directly about that today as well. And our hearts and our prayers are with Savannah and her entire family as they search for her dear mother. I also have a quick scheduling announcement for all of you. Tonight at 7 p.m. during prime time, President Trump, Dr. Oz, and National Design Studio Director Joe Gebbia will officially unveil Trump RX, a state-of-the-art website for American consumers to purchase low-cost prescription drugs. This historic announcement will save millions of Americans their hard-earned money. So make sure to tune in tonight, and we will see all of you in the news media there.
Wokeopotamus says, you're just a heartless streamer, sir. What's heart got to do with it? What's heart but a second-hand emotion?
President Trump promised to restore law and order to the United States of America. And newly released data proves he is delivering overwhelmingly on this promise. A study from the Council on Criminal Justice shows that the murder rate across America's largest cities plummeted in 2025 to its lowest level since at least 1900. Again, let me repeat, to put this in perspective, this marks the largest single-year drop in murders in recorded history. This dramatic decline is what happens when a president secures the border, fully mobilizes federal law enforcement to arrest violent criminals, and aggressively deports the worst of the worst illegal aliens from our country. The numbers don't lie. Under President Trump in 2025, the FBI increased violent crime.
I gotta add like a censor thing for when for when Arya's cuddling with me. We gotta add like a cat censor badge.
By 100% compared to the prior year. The FBI also conducted more than 67,000 arrests from Inauguration Day 2025 to January 20th, 2026, which is 197% more arrests than the same period previously. The FBI also disrupted 1,800 gangs and criminal enterprises, a 210% increase from the year prior. The FBI has arrested 1,700 child predators and more than 300 human traffickers across the country. Since President Trump took office, 6 of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives have been captured. Right here in our nation's capital, where you all live, so you know it well, whether you choose to report it or not, the president's efforts to make D.C. safe and beautiful.
Dance Master, great to see you back inside the dome. Ballyho Dance Master.
Have worked. As of last week, D.C. homicides were down 62%. Motor vehicle theft down 53%. And 2025 had the fewest violent gun crimes of any year of available data in our nation's capital. For more proof that these tough-on-crime efforts are working, look at the president's Make Memphis Safe Again campaign. As of last week, there have been nearly 5,600 arrests made, and aggravated assaults are down 53%. Sexual assaults are down 53%, and robberies are down 70%. Again, that's just in the city of Memphis. 5,600
What's up, Wally Ballyho?
Have taken
Nice to
place
see you,
because
Ely
of
Domer.
this president and his Homeland Security Task Force that has surged into Memphis at the request of both the governor and the mayor in that city. A Democrat mayor, I will add. These are the results that can happen when Democrats and Republicans, when the federal government and state and local officials work together. And that's what Trump wants to see to improve public safety across our country. When you have a leader like President Trump who empowers good cops to be cops and to arrest bad criminals, American communities.
Oh, by the way, my friends, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. We are far from the goal, but I think we can get closer to the goal. Hit that like button, everybody.
Will become safer.
Pretty please.
Many of the media outlets in this room have expressed shock and confusion at these remarkable statistics.
Hit the like button.
The New York Times declared that, quote, no one knows for sure what's behind the staggering drop in the murder rate. The reason is very clear. It is President Trump's leadership and his unwavering commitment to law and order.
This cat loves me so much.
The drop in crime is more proof that all that is required to improve public safety on our streets
I'm all that she knows.
is a leader with the will to do what is necessary to protect law-abiding American citizens. The terror and chaos that was unleashed under Democrat rule is a choice. It's a choice to put violent criminals ahead of innocent Americans, a choice to force us all to live in fear because of soft-on-crime liberal politicians, prosecutors, and judges who lack the basic willingness to do their jobs and put dangerous people behind bars. On November 5th, 2024, the American people made a resounding choice that they've had enough of that, and that's precisely why they re-elected President Trump. So even as Democrats and the liberal media are engaged in hysteria about this administration arresting and deporting violent, criminal, illegal aliens, the undeniable truth is that deporting these individuals is one of the primary reasons why America's streets are safer today
Will you try to pay attention,
than they
UFO
were
Johnny?
1 year ago when President Trump assumed office. Former President Biden and the Democrats left our borders wide open, and President Trump and the brave men and women of ICE are removing these dangerous criminals. So here are just a few recent examples. Number one, a Venezuelan national and active Tren de Aragua gang member with a rap sheet including homicide, assault, child cruelty, domestic violence, and property damage. This is an individual I can assure you not a single one of you in this room would want in your neighborhood, whether you admit it or not. He entered the U.S. in 2022 and
That's
he was
why you left
into
the
our
FBI.
country by the Biden administration. He is no longer
We arrested
here
him.
thanks to President Trump. An El Salvadorian national and known MS-13 associate, previously convicted of homicide, conspiracy to commit homicide, and kidnapping, arrested for arson, battery, armed carjacking, and assault. He entered illegally in 2016, was released by the Obama administration, and ICE just arrested him on January 8th, 2026. This example shows you how many criminal illegal aliens have been roaming American streets freely because of a lack of attention to this matter from the previous administration, and President Trump is cleaning up their mess. A Cuban national and blood gangs member convicted of multiple homicides and robbery. ICE arrested him on October 27th and removed him on January 6th, 2026. Arresting and deporting these types of illegal criminals is precisely what the American people voted.
Have you guys ever watched that that show on Netflix, Mindhunter? You should. 100% dome. What do you call it? What do you call it? Watch it. Watch it. Mindhunter is great. It's all about the first people that started talking about, that started interviewing serial killers. So, like, you get, like, Dome approved. Thank you, Pant. Mindhunter is great. Oh, my God. It is, if you like the Dome, you will like Mindhunter. It's not funny at all, but you would like it.
And despite desperate recent attempts by Democrats and those in the media to undermine the president's deportation agenda, these efforts are failing. Brand new Harvard-Harris polling shows overwhelming support for President Trump's efforts to protect law-abiding citizens from criminal illegal aliens. Nearly 8 in 10 Americans say criminal illegal aliens should be deported. A solid majority also support deporting all illegal aliens, regardless of additional crimes. And more than 2 in 3 Americans back the Trump administration's common sense requirement that state and local officials cooperate with federal authorities and work to hand over criminal illegal aliens in local jails for swift deportation. Finally, to prevent another invasion of millions of illegal aliens from happening again, President Trump and Secretary Noem delivered the most secure border in American history. 0 illegal aliens were released into our homeland over the past 9 months. This is a truly remarkable achievement. Again, 0 illegal aliens released into the country in 9 months. This is staggering, and it deserves more attention from all of you. Overall, Customs and Border Protection recorded the lowest total encounters in agency history. Daily encounters have fallen by 95%. Averaging just 250 apprehensions at the southern border a day. This is compared to over 5,100.
I love the 0, UFO Johnny. I love the 0. But what are we doing about the 25 million that came in over the last 4 years? That's an insane amount of that's an insane, like, even if we close the borders for the next 4 years, and Biden just had, like, let's say normal gotaways, normal illegal illegal immigration, it would probably add up to be the same, wouldn't you think?
100 daily apprehensions during the Biden years. It's a night and day difference because we finally have a president who enforces the law and lets our law enforcement do their noble jobs of protecting our homeland. When President Trump campaigned on making America safe again, this is exactly what he meant, and the numbers and the results speak for themselves. With that, I will open it up to questions today. We're going to start with Daniel Baldwin from One America News, who is here religiously covering the White House beat every day. So it's good to see you in a chair instead of standing up today, Daniel. Thanks for being here, and why don't you kick us off?
Thank you, Caroline. It's an honor and privilege to represent One America News in the new media seat. First question.
What's
on
up,
the
Beastery?
DHS funding bill. Funding runs out in the better part of 8 days or so. Democrats, at least verbally, are very dug in. What does the White House believe their end goal is when it comes to this funding fight, when it comes to immigration policy at large? What is their end goal when they're dug in a position like this at this point in time?
Well, the president has 2 end goals. One is to obviously keep the government funded and open, and that includes the Department of Homeland Security, which does not just touch upon ICE and Border Patrol, but also FEMA, the United States Coast Guard, the United States Secret Service. These are brave public servants who work to protect our homeland. The president wants these individuals to get paid. Secondly, when it comes to any discussions about immigration policy...
Woke says, does that journalist have a soul? Well, he doesn't have a tan, that's for sure.
The president is never going to waver in his commitment to allow immigration enforcement efforts in this country and to support ICE and Border Patrol and the deportation of illegal alien criminals. I know Senator Schumer and Leader Jeffries sent over a very long list of demands, some of which the administration is willing to discuss. Others don't seem like they are grounded in any common sense, and they are non-starters for this administration, but we're not going to negotiate policy from the podium. I'm going to allow the president to do that, and any final decisions that are made will be made ultimately by him. But rest assured, he is never going to allow law enforcement in the jobs that they do, the important jobs that they do, to be undermined.
And secondly, Caroline, the Department of Homeland Security put out a tweet a better part of an hour ago alleging that an illegal alien was involved in a major car wreck in Indiana, killing 4 people, and they allege that the suspect in question came in under the CBP-1 app under the Biden administration and received a commercial driver's license from the state of Pennsylvania. What is the White House's reaction to a situation like this? And what is
I wouldn't exactly go on that Ecuador bike trip. I mean, it really sounds like it sounds like a rape trap, to tell you the truth. Did I just promote a rape trap?
White House doing to crack down on cases like this where illegal aliens are obtaining?
Should we say that the next time we read?
Yes, this is another example of the border crisis over the past 4 years.
Speaking of that, we need to read another one.
The administration,
we can't leave any money on the table,
and will always continue to fully back and support ICE and Border Patrol and law enforcement in their removal of illegal alien criminals from our country.
That's right, Beastery.
And all of you should report on it. 4 Americans were tragically killed and lost their lives this week yet again from an illegal alien, an individual who was paroled into the country by the Biden administration using the CBP-1 app, which they created like it was a magic pass for Disneyland. That's not how immigration in this country should work. And this illegal alien from Kyrgyzstan was traveling on an Indiana highway, and he failed to brake for a slowed semi-truck in front of him. He swerved into the lane, and he crashed into a van carrying 15 passengers, and 4 people were killed in that crash. This is another tragedy that could have been prevented if not for the wide open borders from the previous administration.
Why do you guys watch me?
secure border. That's why this administration will continue to deport illegal aliens from our country. Thank you for being here. Gary.
Everybody's got a price.
Everybody does have a price. Remember, my friends, Rumble pays me to read these things to you. Thank you, Domets. Some ad-reading music. They can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing the Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, whatever the hell that means, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't some paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet. I'd love for you to do that, actually. Peer-to-peer and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middleman, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. Just like my heart, Dome. Just like my heart is yours forever. Ballyho. Buy some Tether Gold. Nailed it. Oh my God. I mean, we're so good at that stuff. We are so good at that. $3.06. Let's go. Almost enough for some gold.
John, thank you for your comments and your...
Peter Ducey in the house.
I have 2 questions related to the president's interview with NBC yesterday.
Sure.
At one point in the interview, the president said that he believes states are accumulating the votes for who wins the election. He says if they, meaning the states, can't do it honestly and can't be done properly and timely...
One second. Aria is hitting the back of the green screen. Hello, little girl. Can you stop that? Come on. Can you stop that?
Something else has to happen. What did he mean by that?
I swear to God, it's like having a cat is like living with every single one of your ex-girlfriends for the rest of your life. Sometimes. Most of the time, it's great. Most of the time, having a cat is great. But for 17% of the time, it's literally like living with every single one of your ex-girlfriends.
Suggesting that the federal government count votes in elections?
What the president is suggesting, and I just spoke to him about this, is that Republicans and Democrats in Congress should pass the Save America Act. This piece of legislation is going to ensure that states are abiding by federal election law by removing non-citizens from their voter rolls. In addition, the Save America Act will require voter ID to vote, and it will require proof of citizenship to register to vote. These are very common sense policies and proposals that 89% of our country agree with. So that's what the president is talking about. Again, I just spoke with him about this, and he's calling on both Republicans and Democrats to send the Save America Act, to pass it into law and to send it to his desk as quickly as possible.
To be clear, the SAVE Act doesn't say anything about who counts votes, which has always been a state, a local, a county function. Why does he keep talking about somebody else, presumably the federal government, counting votes?
Because the SAVE Act directs states to remove non-citizens from their voter rolls. And we know in states across the country, the president is right to point this out. In states like California or in places like New York City, non-citizens are allowed to vote in state and local elections. And the federal government should absolutely do away with that. I don't think a single person in this room, if you really are being honest with yourselves, should agree that non-citizens should vote in American elections, no matter where that election is up and down the ticket. And so this is a piece of federal legislation that will help states ensure the integrity and the sanctity of their elections.
Yes,
and that's
I'll
what the
pick up
president
my
wants.
socks. I'll pick up my
Thanks,
socks.
Caroline. President Trump posted about Nancy Guthrie that he is directing all federal law enforcement to be at the families and local law enforcement's complete disposal immediately. What should we expect to see?
Hab says, you will know the relationship is serious when you and Arya get matching tattoos. Not only do I have matching tattoos with a female human being out there, wherever the hell they are now. I do wish them luck. I do wish them luck. The best of luck, Ballyhope. But we have breakup tattoos with each other. The good old-fashioned what's next breakup tattoo. I think everyone should get it. Like this is a tattoo after you get from a 9-year relationship with them. What's next?
Guthrie that he is directing all federal law enforcement to be at the families and local law enforcement's
Haley in the chat.
Disposal immediately. What should we expect to see from the federal government in coming days in the search to find Nancy Guthrie?
It's a very good question, Peter, and it's why I was on the phone with the FBI earlier this morning to ask that. And what they told me is that the FBI, again, is at the disposal of the state and local government. Whatever personnel or assets or resources that the state and local authorities and police need.
Woke says, lucky you skipped on the YouTube Forever tattoo. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Will be granted to them at the direction of the president, the FBI director, and the attorney general.
A different law enforcement issue. The FBI just found 1,000 samples inside an illegal biolab in Las Vegas. It is linked to a different biolab that was previously raided. There are
What's up,
ties
Palms?
to China.
Ely Domer.
What does the president think the CCP might be up to here?
I haven't spoken to him about this specific investigation from the FBI, but I'm happy to, and I'm sure he's very glad that this is something the FBI discovered, and we'll make sure anyone who is involved in illegal activity will be held accountable.
And just one more about this weekend. At the Mar-a-Lago Super Bowl party, after the first 2 quarters, are the TVs going to be on the halftime show with Bad Bunny or the halftime show with Kid Rock?
I think the president would much prefer a Kid Rock performance over Bad Bunny. I must say that.
Mr. Rotella can confirm that, number one, tomorrow night, we will be making our gambling bet together on Friday night, date night. Make sure you're here having a plate of steak with us tomorrow night. We're making our bet for the Super Bowl live on the stream. Number two, we will be live for the annual Superdome tradition. We'll be live for the game. We can't put it behind us, obviously, because the NFL would kill us for copyright laws. But we will be live, and we will be live with it behind us, the TPUSA halftime show. Make sure to join us Sunday, starting at 5:30. Mark your calendars.
On the nuclear arms pact, we saw the president's post on that.
Yes.
But can you say, is there a temporary agreement with Russia to stand by the terms of the New START treaty while negotiations are happening?
I don't even want to
Not
hear
my
about
knowledge.
Ukraine anymore. Who
Again,
cares about
to
this
your
stuff?
point, Jennifer, I just do want to reiterate exactly what the president said. He wrote just moments ago, the United States is the most powerful country in the world. I completely rebuilt its military in my first term, including new and many refurbished nuclear weapons. I also added Space Force and now continue to rebuild our military at levels never seen before. We are even adding battleships, which are 100% 100 times more powerful than the ones that roamed the seas during World War II, the Iowa, Missouri, Alabama, and others. I have stopped nuclear wars from breaking out across the world between Pakistan and India, Iran and Israel, and Russia and Ukraine, rather than extend New START, a badly negotiated deal by the United States, which I will add was renegotiated under former President Barack Obama, aside from everything else, is being grossly violated. The president wants to have our nuclear experts work on a new, improved, and modernized treaty that can last long into the future, and that's what the United States will continue to discuss with the Russians. Please.
Thank you, Caroline.
Sure.
Did President Trump himself ever ask DNI Gabbard to head down to Fulton County, Georgia?
The president was asked and answered that question just yesterday.
Why are we asking about who's there instead of what they're finding?
Seen a lot of the media in this room get very caught up with the semantics of why Tulsi Gabbard is there. I will tell you why, and the president agrees with this, because election security is essential to national security. And as the director of national intelligence, it is a part of Ms. Gabbard's role to make sure that American elections are free of foreign interference and that American elections are safe and secure. And so the ODNI director is working with the FBI on this effort, and the president wholeheartedly supports both Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard in ensuring that American elections are safe, are secure, and are free of foreign intervention.
Is there any indication that there's foreign influence?
Federal law enforcement's involvement in this
quiet down.
Excuse me one second. It's the media who has said that there's Russian interference in American elections. You guys have been saying that for many, many years. So the people, the people in this room, considering that you all said for many years that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump, you should all be very happy that we finally have an administration that is looking into that, and we'll be happy to keep you posted. Michael.
Oh, she had that in her back pocket, just ready to go. Very nicely done.
With the FBI's involvement in the search for Nancy Guthrie now, has this search expanded nationwide outside of Arizona? And given Pima County's proximity to Mexico, is this now an international search?
Well, Michael, that would be a question for state and local authorities as
they always
continue
Pootie
to oversee the investigation at this time. Again, the federal government and the FBI have offered any and all resources, but the state and local authorities are still leading the investigation, so I would direct you to them. I'm certainly not in a position to talk about it.
One other question, Caroline.
Sure.
Friday's talks with Iran, they were originally supposed to take place in Turkey. They've now been moved to Oman. Can you tell us the reason for that move?
Look, the president, diplomacy is always his first option when it comes to dealing with countries all around the world, whether it's our allies or our adversaries. And so Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling to Oman for those talks tomorrow, and we will see what comes of those. The president is standing by for an update from them. Sure, in the pink.
Thank you, Caroline. Cuban leader Miguel Diaz-Canel said today that Cuba would be willing to engage in dialogue with the United States only without pressure, without preconditions, on equal footing and with respect for sovereignty. But his government is denying what President Trump said, that they are already holding talks. How would you respond to that?
I think the fact that the Cuban government is on its last leg and its country is about to collapse, they should be wise in their statements directed towards the president of the United States. But as I just reiterated, the president is always willing to engage in diplomacy, and I believe that's something that is taking place, in fact, with the Cuban government.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline. So the Office of Personnel Management released a final rule today that makes it easier to fire government employees.
Who's this lady sitting next to Ed? The pink is nice. White is nice. Have I had a few too many beers tonight, Dome?
Who are not doing their job. Basically.
I might have.
Does the president believe that there are people in his government
it gets lonely
still
in the cabin
that are not
sometimes.
following his agenda?
That's a good question. I have not asked him about that. I mean, look, it's a very big government, right? There are thousands of people who work for the federal government here in Washington, D.C. This administration has been very much focused on ensuring that we have an efficient and productive workforce for the American taxpayer. There's not a day that goes by where we don't show up and realize we are public servants working on behalf of the American people, and everybody in the federal government best have that mindset, or they won't be welcome to work for this administration. So I think it's a good thing that the Office of Personnel Management put this this rule out. I think if people aren't doing their jobs, if they aren't showing up for work, if they're not working hard on behalf of this president, they're not welcome to work for him at all.
The New York City mayor is dealing with a $12 billion budget deficit. If he texted President Trump, would the president bail him out?
I'll leave that answer to the president himself, Ed. Kristen, go ahead.
One more follow-up on Jeanine Gabbard. You've said that the president supports the fact that she was there, but last night when he was asked about it, he said he didn't know why she was there. He didn't say that he directed her. Can you clarify on that? Did she go by herself and he learned later and supports it?
Well, did you look at the full entirety of his response? I was in the room for that NBC interview, Kristen, and he just said exactly what I told you, which is that election security is essential to national security. We need to ensure that our elections are free.
Eric says, "You're good, sir. Couldn't tell you've been drinking. That's because I'm always drinking on stream.
Free and are fair
I'm always,
and are free of foreign
I'm always the
interference."
same.
And he spoke about how Ms. Tulsi Gabbard is involved in that effort. So you're taking like the first 3 words that he said.
I've been having a blast on
and not
stream,
looking at
like
his entire
ever since,
response.
like
for
like a month and whatever. I've been having a blast.
2016 and Russian interference.
Nice
but
to be
what
streaming.
we learned from these Georgia officials is what was seized by the FBI were ballots from 2020 in this Fulton County election center. Do you have any evidence that there was international interference in the 2020 election in this election center?
What I do have evidence of, and what the media seems to be undermining, is why Tulsi Gabbard is there in the first place. And I would point you again to federal law that clearly assigns the DNI and the office with the statutory responsibility to lead counter intel matters related to election security. This includes assessing risks to election voting systems, software, voter registration databases, and more, and analyzing foreign interference. And the ODNI is responsible for supporting the White House interagency action to secure our elections through intel analysis and vulnerability assessments. And they should be routinely collaborating.
I like hearing that,
with
Ronnie. I like
agencies
hearing
like
that,
the
Sharon's here. Thank you.
DHS, the DOJ, and the FBI. So as for that question, it would be better suited to ask the Director of National Intelligence herself in her office. But what I'm telling you is that it is more than appropriate. In fact, it is Tulsi Gabbard's job to ensure that our elections are safe and secure. And that's exactly what she's been doing on the ground in Georgia. And I don't understand why anyone in this room, considering you're all American citizens, I believe, and like to vote in our nation's elections, should have any problem with that whatsoever.
Let's check their papers.
Now,
Thank you, Caroline. The president said that the administration should take a softer approach on immigration enforcement.
Check the press room papers.
He's also
I like that
suggested
idea.
for months that some migrant workers should be spared from these raids based on what they're doing. Is the administration going to continue to conduct large worksite raids as it seeks to target violent criminals? And can you clarify, is the federal government going to continue doing these?
Okay, actually. Very important question here. What we just heard Trump say in the last interview was that he's only looking for the dangerous criminals, the blah, blah, blah. He also said that we could take a softer approach. None of us like that answer either. This question coming from someone we've never seen in the press room before. Keep in mind, we watch every single one of these for the last 5 years now. So, ask a pretty good question. Are we going to do work site raids and blah, blah, blah? Let's see what she actually asks, and I won't talk during the question.
Thank you, Caroline. The president said that the administration should take a softer approach on immigration
That's
enforcement.
what I just said.
He's also suggested for months that some migrant workers should be spared from these raids based on what they're doing. Is the administration going to continue to conduct large worksite raids as it seeks to target violent criminals? And can you clarify, is the federal government going to continue doing these deportation operations in blue cities where authorities say they don't want them?
Hi, Dustin.
First,
Welcome
again,
in.
to the president's answer yesterday, the full context of his answer was that he'd like to see a softer touch, but we are always going to remain tough. That softer touch the president is referring
Did he say that?
to is that cooperation that is necessary between state and local authorities and federal government authorities to ensure that we can continue deporting illegal aliens from our communities without tons of agents having to go after one illegal alien. If the states and the local governments just turn over their illegal aliens to ICE at jails, as they should be doing, it requires one agent to deport that one illegal alien who can then go on their way to their home country in a peaceful manner. The escalation that we've seen take place in Minnesota is a direct result of the refusal of state and local officials to cooperate with the federal government and with ICE, which has led to these hostile and dangerous environments. And so we don't want that. Again, the president wants direct cooperation, and that's what he was referring to. As for worksite raids, I don't broadcast any future action that may or may not happen from the Department of Homeland Security. But again, the president's focus and the administration's focus is on targeting illegal alien criminals, especially those who have committed heinous crimes in our country, as evidenced by the few illegal aliens that I just shared with you here today.
Will ICE enforce
that doesn't look like the hard answer I'm looking for. I thought that she was going to be doing some damage control today, but she's kind of just going along with the statements.
Border Patrol avoid going to other blue cities where the local officials are saying, we won't work with you, we don't want you here?
Well, first of all, those local officials should be wanting to work with ICE. Why would any official, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, want murderers and predators in your city? It makes zero sense. It's an untenable position. The only reason Democrats are taking that position now is because their entire party platform is just anti-Trump. It makes no sense for the American people. They should be calling this White House, they should be calling Secretary Noem, they should be calling Tom Homan, and they should be saying, we want to work with you to remove the worst of the worst criminals from our city. Please come here. So yes, ICE is going to continue to do their job in cities and communities across the country, but it certainly makes it much easier when we have that level of cooperation and corroboration at the state and local level. In places like Florida, where there has been the arrest of thousands, tens of thousands of illegal alien criminals. None of you talk about that, or none of you hear about that, because these operations are going seamlessly and peacefully. Why? Because there is an intimate cooperation between the state government and the federal government.
We
and
love
that's
the
what
free
president
state of
wants to see
Florida.
in all 50 states. And the whites, yes.
Hi, thank you, Caroline. Over the weekend, President Trump said that he was giving a serious look at endorsing in the Texas Republican Senate primary. We know that Minnesota and Georgia also have competitive.
I mean, he's got to endorse Ken Paxton.
Crowded primaries. Is he giving those races a serious look as well?
Well, I'm not allowed to speak from the podium on any future political endorsements the president may or may not make, but I know that he is watching all of these races across the country quite carefully. I won't get ahead of him on any potential endorsements.
John. Come on.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Two questions for you about the continuing resolution that the president signed for the Department of Homeland Security. What would be the repercussions for all of the agencies under DHS if no agreement is reached on funding when that deadline approaches next Friday?
Well, there will be grave repercussions for all of those agencies, but more importantly, frankly, for the American people who those agencies serve. And that's exactly what the president and the White House want to avoid. Again, we want to keep the government funded. We want the Department of Homeland Security, of course, to be up and operationalized and continuing as necessary to protect our homeland, to secure our border, to ensure the brave men and women of the United States Coast Guard are getting paid, the brave men and women of the United States Secret Service who protect the president, the vice president, and frankly, all of you in this building every day continue to receive the paychecks that they so well deserve. And so that's why the White House will engage in these talks with Democrats. But again, the president is never going to cave on this administration's core promise to deport illegal aliens from our country.
Okay. We hear from her that he's not going to stop deportations from this country. Okay. I hope not.
In your statement that there are certain proposals that Democrats are putting up.
This guy kind of like, this guy gives off the vibe of he's been around the room a little bit, if you know what I mean, ladies. He's been around the room a little bit, and he's got a little bit of a reputation about himself. Am I right?
That are non-starters. What are some of those non-starters?
There are a few, and it's a very good question.
It's not what I heard from Trump either, Ron.
I know the White House will be engaged in direct, serious talks with Democrats on this important
That's why I
matter.
said we'll see what happens, Mr. Cargo. Who knows?
In addition to launching Trump RX tonight, Trump has said that he wants to meet with insurance companies to lower healthcare costs. Do you have any update on those meetings?
Yes, he does want to meet with insurance companies. That meeting will take place. I don't have an update on when it will be on the schedule, but the purpose of that meeting will be to continue to negotiate with these companies to ensure that more money is going back to the American consumer, and you're all going to see that on full display tonight.
Is that guy gay? How do you know Sharon's here? Is it the parted hair in the middle?
7 o'clock with the
oh my God, I used to have
Trump
that haircut.
RX. I'm telling you, this is going to be a very cool and unique event, so everybody really should tune in.
Can you clarify what the president said on the Diego Garcia deal? He said he didn't like it, now again he says he's for it.
He spoke with Prime Minister Starmer directly. He understands Prime Minister Starmer's position, and he supports it. But as the president reiterated in that statement, of course, the United States reserves the right to protect our assets. We still have a military base, of course, on the island of Diego Garcia. And so the president reiterated to the Prime Minister and to all of you that the United States will never waver, if necessary, in protecting our assets anywhere in the world, but including on Diego Garcia. And he supports the Prime Minister's decision. Elizabeth.
Just on that one, Caroline, can I ask you...
said that he's now seeking...
John, I'll go to you after.
Thank you.
The president said he's now seeking $1 billion from Harvard, considerably more than before. What changed here, and how are negotiations going?
Well, look, this has been an ongoing negotiation and, frankly, a frustrating negotiation for the president and the administration because we want a deal. And it's very unfortunate that Harvard has dragged its feet in understanding they need to rectify the wrongs and the illegal behavior that took place on their campus over
I was
the course
waiting
of the
for
past,
someone to say that.
Several years under the previous administration. And so the president wants a justified deal to correct for that criminal behavior that took place on their campus. He is now demanding $1 billion from Harvard University.
$1 billion?
Secretary McMahon will be continuing to lead this negotiation.
From Harvard University?
John.
Caroline, thank you. You mentioned some polling earlier that was very compelling on deportations. Rasmussen came out with a poll today, said 75% of Republicans want all illegals deported.
I love Rasmussen. Rasmussen is the only fucking thing on the internet that I'm like, yes, every time I see it.
Rasmussen came out with a poll today, said 75% of Republicans want all illegals deported. It seems like the conversation has shifted again to focusing only on deporting illegal aliens who are criminals. Is the president still committed to deportations of the 20 million illegals that came here under Joe Biden, or are you starting to see that back?
Yes, and the president has always been committed to that, John. But we must prioritize, and the prioritization is on those tens of thousands of convicted criminals.
Oh, she's got a Clinton arm. She's got a Clinton arm as she's making this statement. Watch this. Watch her arm. She's. I did not have sexual relations. She's got a Clinton arm.
Back.
Yes, and the president has always been committed to that, John. But we must prioritize, and the prioritization is on those tens of thousands of convicted criminals whom we know are still roaming our streets. ICE and Border Patrol and DHS have done a phenomenal job of removing tens of thousands of them. Actually, nearly 1 million people have been deported from our country over the past year, 2 million additional self-deportations. So nearly 3 million people have left the United States. But again, as you pointed out rightfully, Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed...
Dude, Ron, they are like playing hopscotch with the base's red line on everything. We're back and forth on Epstein. We're back and forth on indictments. We're back and forth on illegal immigration, illegal aliens. I don't like the hopscotch. We voted for all in.
Approximately 20 million people into our country illegally. So yes, of course, the president is committed to ensuring that America is and always will be a nation of laws.
Thank you, Caroline. Steve Bannon recently said, quote, "We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November." Is that something that the president is considering?
Well,
it could be pretty cold.
The president consider,
no. You can guarantee to the American public that ICE will not be around polling locations or voting locations in November?
I can't guarantee that an ICE agent won't be around a polling location in November. I mean, that's frankly a very silly hypothetical question. But what I can tell you is
Taz obviously been drinking this evening. She did tell us she was drunk when she arrived in the Dome. Taz says, I just want to smell her hair. That might be the creepiest thing. We've got some pretty creepy domers in here, Taz. That might be the creepiest thing I've ever read inside the Dome.
Haven't heard the president discuss any formal plans to put ICE outside.
I don't know. We should do a poll on that. We got to do a poll on that, everybody. 1 second. Let's see. Put a 1 inside the chat if that was the creepiest thing you've ever read inside the Dome. Put a 2 inside the chat if it wasn't. I don't know, Taz. That was pretty creepy. 1 inside the chat if that was the most creepiest thing you've ever heard inside the Dome. 2 inside the chat if it wasn't. Ronnie says there has been war. Guys, we're not being truthful. This is obviously, we're doing a joke. We're doing a joke poll, and it's not working in my favor. We're obviously doing a joke poll. Oh my God. Oh my God. You can do better, chat. You're right, Sedan. You can do better, chat. That joke failing is on the chat. Oh my God. We're resetting the poll. We're turning it all off. I am so disappointed in the chat right now. I am so disappointed in you.
Of polling locations, it's a disingenuous question.
Caroline, I had 2 questions regarding DHS. The first one is, one of the Democrats' main demands
Why
for
do I
DHS
even show
funding
up
was
every
to
night?
demask ICE agents. Is this something that the president is even considering?
Again, this is one of the specific points in the letter that went out by Senate Majority Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. I won't negotiate the individual points from the podium, but it is obviously something the White House will be discussing with lawmakers on Capitol Hill in the coming days.
Is the administration concerned that the shakeup that we're seeing of DHS activity in Minneapolis could potentially embolden different obstructionist protesters around the country as they now have a playbook on how to get ICE out of their cities?
No, because what you saw yesterday with the drawdown of 700 agents only occurred because the condition that the President of the United States set for local states, local counties to turn over illegal aliens to ICE has been met. The vast majority of counties, nearly every single county now in Minnesota, has made an agreement to notify ICE when they are releasing an illegal criminal from their jail. This is a huge win for the administration. Again, it's a condition the president set out and has been met thanks to the tireless efforts of Mr. Homan. And as
Woke says, do you think you will get any work done tomorrow, sir? Well, you want to know? You want to know what the schedule is? Woke. Mr. Rotella wakes up at 7. We walk the dog by 7:30. So wake up, make coffee, walk the dog by 7:30, come back, send the email from everything that I did for the day job yesterday, download the stream that happened last night, the one that we're doing right now, edit the micro content into separate frames so that people that missed the Dome last night can just go back and see whatever thing that they missed that they might want to watch. Now, from there, I also go through and we do shorts. And so far, I mean, there's like 12. There's like 12. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with this short stuff, but we got to go all in. We got to flood the zone. We got to flood the zone. I think that there's a point on Rumble, like the CEO, and maybe this is true. I don't think that's true. Maybe this is true, but the dude's like, there's 10 million shorts that have been uploaded to Rumble. Are you kidding me? Like, what? There's no way. There is no way that is true. So we flood the zone. And I think people see our shorts more than other people.
for the left wing
and to make sure that it doesn't interrupt your feed, woke, because we saw that last night. Tonight, I have the majority of the shorts coming out between midnight and 5 a.m. just so that they're put in the short feed for your convenience, everybody.
Agitators
I scheduled
who have been illegally obstructing ICE's immigration
There's a lot of
efforts.
behind-the-scenes
We are
shit.
not letting that behavior go unnoticed or unpunished. In fact, just today, the Department of Homeland Security arrested this individual. He is a self-proclaimed Antifa member who has been threatening, doxing, harassing ICE. He called for the murder of federal law enforcement officer.
Almy says, please tell me the shorts are hot pink. Quote of the fucking night. Quote of the night goes to Almy.
He encouraged bloodshed in the streets of Minnesota. He proudly acclaimed affiliation with the domestic terrorist organization Antifa.
And then
the
I do
Department
my
of
day
Justice,
job.
thanks to the
I
great
forgot to
work
say
of
that. Then I do my day
HSI
job.
And the FBI, where it was able to locate and arrest this individual today. So we are committed to enforcing our immigration laws. We want that level of cooperation from state and local officials. And if people are illegally obstructing
What's up,
our
Rowdy?
federal
Welcome
law
in, Ballyho.
enforcement operations, if they are targeting, doxing, harassing,
That
and
would be a great
vilifying,
Tinder
ICE
profile.
agents, they
Ladies, are you swiping left or are you swiping right on that Tinder profile right there? What do you think? What do you think? He's got that vein in his forehead. I know the girls like the vein.
are going to be held accountable, like this individual here, who again is a self-proclaimed member of Antifa. He is a domestic terrorist, and he will be held accountable in the United States.
Caroline, just to follow up on Garrett's earlier question, I mean, you've talked a lot about the SAVE Act. I know you spoke with the president about it before you came out here. The president has gone beyond that, though. He's talking about Republicans.
What else can we
taking over
watch tonight?
elections, states or agents of the federal government. So just to be clear, is the president only calling on Congress to pass the SAVE Act, or does he want Republicans to go further than that before the midterm elections?
The president is calling on Republicans, again, and Democrats to pass the SAVE Act. I will reiterate, requirement for voter ID to vote. That should be something that no American should.
I mean, how have we not been doing this the whole time? Like, there's got to be kids out there. I bet that there's like a. We should ask Nolan on Saturday morning family-friendly Fortnite. I'm going to ask UFO Johnny's kid, Nolan, his son. Do you believe that people should show proof of identity and citizenship in the USA to be able to vote? It's going to take Nolan like a microsecond to say yes. Like, this is fucking so simple stuff.
Should oppose. In fact, we know that the vast majority of Americans support it, requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote. This is not hard to do. We should be able to do that in this country. If you want to register to vote in the United States of America,
the kids are going to hate us in the future,
you have to be a citizen
man.
in the United
They
States
are.
of America.
They're like,
And
you
this
guys are going to be
piece of
like, you
federal
guys are so
legislation will
stupid.
direct states to remove non-citizens
You guys,
from the voter roll.
you guys are so stupid. Listen to me, Dome. This is very important. All of us, you guys are so stupid. You voted for Mitt Romney and you said that you didn't need ID to vote. How stupid do you feel?
I just had a conversation with the president about it. John.
Thank you, Caroline. I have two questions. Tariffs on South Korea. As you know, President Trump recently mentioned increasing tariffs on South Korea. When will the 25% tariffs increasing on South Korea begin?
UFO Johnny says he just said yes. Spoiler alert, Ballyho Nolan. Ballyho Nolan, nice to see you, my friend. Congrats on the Robot Wars win today, my friend. Great job. The bunny robot. Is that why you went with the instead of a bunny rabbit, it's a bunny robot? That's kind of funny.
Secondly,
it's kind of funny.
What impact will this have on national security?
Sure. I don't have a timeline for you on that, but I will make sure that our trade team here at the White House gets you an answer swiftly and promptly. John.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Yesterday, President Trump, in the NBC interview, said that it bothers me that somebody is going after Bill Clinton.
Hilarious.
That somebody is the House Oversight Chairman James Comer, a Republican.
Look at this, it's
why
Superman.
is the president bothered that they're
Clark Kent.
investigating Bill Clinton and his Epstein ties?
Look, I think that the president has respect for the former president of the United States, Bill Clinton. He said yesterday himself they've shared a good relationship, and that's what he was reiterating in that NBC interview.
Go ahead,
Caroline. Can you tell us a little bit about the agenda for tomorrow's talks with the Iranians? What will be the focus of the discussions?
Diplomacy moving forward. The president has obviously been quite clear.
It's not a goose, it's a duck. It's a duck. Wait, what? Did I say bunny rabbit? Is a goose? I think it's a duck. Can I show it? UFO Johnny, can I show it? When you send something to me in a DM, I don't know if I can show it on stream.
His demands.
Am I allowed to show it on stream?
Zero nuclear capability is something he's been very explicit.
Okay, let's go see. All right, here we go. Nolan wins the robot battle. What did I say? Did I say rabbit or did I say duck? Oh my God, I'm all over the place tonight.
Don't fall off that edge.
No, they're here.
Stay away from enough things.
That's Nolan on the far left, everybody. There he goes. He wins. He wins. Domers always win. Domers always win. What did I say? Did I say? Well, I don't even remember what I said now. I don't even remember what I said now. It's a goose, duck. Did I say bunny? That was far from bunny. I don't even remember what I said.
About, and he wants to see if a deal can be
It's a stream
struck.
of consciousness, friends.
And while these negotiations are taking place, I would remind the Iranian regime that the president has many options at his disposal, aside from diplomacy, as the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the history of the world.
Civil Wars says Bad Bunny. I think that performance, that robot win, was better than the halftime show that's about to happen.
Washington Examiner, go ahead.
Lynchburg County, Virginia their local law enforcement is defying the blue government's demand that they no longer cooperate with ICE. There's a lot of red counties that are thumbing their nose at the blue government, blue states leadership, telling them not to cooperate with ICE. Will this administration support those counties in any way? Support them either through legal help or?
Absolutely. And if there is a county in this country, whether it's red or blue, that seeks to cooperate with the federal government to remove violent, illegal criminal aliens from their communities, this administration is here to help. You've heard the calls from the president himself on asking Democrats and Republicans across the country to call on the Trump administration to work with them, not against them, in the matter of public safety and securing our homeland. Thank you all very much. You'll hear directly from the president tonight at 7 o'clock, and I hope everybody has a good weekend. Happy Super Bowl weekend. The president has wisely chosen not to make a prediction in Sunday night's game, but as a native...
UFO Johnny says Goose and Duck are both in the Goose Mafia. This is Nolan speaking. Well, hi, Nolan. It's nice to see you. Thanks for watching the Dome.
Girl from New Hampshire, go Patriots. Thank you, guys.
What? We'll be rooting for the Seahawks inside the Dome. We'll be gambling on the Seahawks. We'll be gambling on the Seahawks. Tomorrow night, make sure you're here at date night. I think we're going to put down, are you ready for this number? We're going to put down a $200 bet on something, everybody. We want to be invested for Sunday. A $200 bet coming tomorrow night during date night. Who will we pick? Will we pick the over? Will we pick the under? Ronnie says, I've always been a Patriots fan. What a good team name. We're all Patriots, says Ronnie. Well, my backyard used to be the Seattle Seahawks Stadium. Want to see? Let's see. When I was working in fashion, I lived in Seattle. Let's see. I know exactly where we're going. Turn on that music, Domettes. Good old Seattle. Good old Seattle. Sounds like a flexor. One of those, woke. One of those. Don't be throwing in all these terms, woke. So here's the stadium. You want to see where Mr. Rotella used to live? Right here. Right here. Oh my God. Do I remember those days? That was fucking awesome. 8th floor. Right here on the corner. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. That might be me naked. That might be me naked in the window right there. Haley and Mr. Rotella. Valley-Ho, Seattle. Valley-Ho. Almost a penthouse, very far from the penthouse. I love Seattle. I love living in Seattle. I wouldn't mind going back. I wouldn't mind going back for a year and doing it. Like there was a rooftop thing so that you could see into the stadium and stuff. I mean, look at that. Look at that roof. Look at that roof. They got a sushi. They got a sushi bar there now. Oh no, the sushi bar's in the basement. Got it. Valley-Ho, Seattle. I gotta close the map or I'm gonna look at that for the rest of the night. Woke says, oh, I thought it was gonna be in the back of a car in that lot, says Wokeopotamus. Wokeopotamus, please. Silver Wizard says, good night, Dome. I think we're gonna raid Outlaw Dogs. Outlaw Dogs, long-time domer. Watch Along Party, episode 46. I got no idea what she's watching. Lots of butterflies are flying around. Should we go check it out? What is she watching? We're watching Infinity Movies, it looks like. She's got a little butterfly Trump emoji up in the corner. I don't know what that means, but I like the detail to the stream. Look at that hair. Look at that hair on the butterfly Trump. What the hell are we watching? Watch Along Party of Flight of the Monarch Butterflies. I get it. I get it. I do. I get it. We're going to raid that stream tonight, 100%. Okay. Easy. Does anyone else want to talk about anything? Having a great time streaming lately. And when I say that, it doesn't mean like I never don't have a great time streaming. It's just I'm having a better time streaming lately. We've got the internet working 100%. How long has it been since we've had a drop stream? We've settled into the new location. We're good to go. Woke says, don't they live like 6 months and it takes 2 generations to go to and from the breeding grounds? Says Wokeopotamus. Really? How do they know their way back? I guess you're going to find out tonight. You know what? I could go back to most of my breeding grounds. I could. Now that I think about it, I definitely could. I mean, not 100% of them, but like where like the, but like where like the, where the emotional connections were. Do you think that we like drop energy in places? Maybe. Maybe. Wokeopotamus says they call it genetic memory. Sounds a little Nazi. Elita Moran Cargo says, I'm still in the padded room, going to be there for a while. Well, Ron, I think, hey, Ron, just like we got through the pandemic with you finding us, we're going to get through this. We are. The best thing to know is, there's kind of I think that there's kind of definitely a countdown right here between the doomers and the non-doomers. And I think that countdown is the midterms. Hey, what's up, Karen? Welcome in. Karen says, hello, everyone. Welcome in, Karen. First time inside the chat. Everybody say ballyho to Karen. So I say, Ron, at least we got some kind of gauge on where we are. I mean, I'm here for the ride. You guys know I'm here for the ride. But but I gotta be authentic all at the same time. Ask yourself, if Joe Biden was doing some of the things that Trump is doing, would we not all be losing our minds? Karen says, thank you, Oklahoma here. Welcome in, Oklahoma. I'm from the free state of Florida. Well, not from, but I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Don't tell anybody, Karen. Okay, let's go to the den and let's raid outlaw dogs. You guys are going to learn about monarch butterflies tonight. You know what? There's honestly, there's worse things that you guys could be doing, okay? Let me set that up. And we're going to go to the den. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Karen says, I won't. Good to hear, Karen. Ronnie inside Outlaw Dogs chat saying raid incoming. Ronnie, don't ruin the surprise. Oh my God. Ronnie, ruining the surprise. Booze in the chat for Ronnie, everybody. Booze in the chat for Ronnie. so she can get her game face on. A streamer should always have their game face on. Pull yourself up by your stream straps. I love yelling for the last 20 minutes of the stream. It always keeps a good viewership. They just don't get us, Dome. They just don't get us. We actually have a problem. I don't know what we're going to stream tomorrow.
The best is yet to come.
You're right, Karen. The best is yet to come now that you hit that follow button. Welcome in. Hi, Karen. I'm Mr. Rotella. We don't know what we're going to stream tomorrow. It's either going to be a documentary, a conspiracy documentary, if we can find one, about the death of Elvis Presley. They say he died on a toilet. I don't know. That doesn't sound like the way for a king to go. But the death of Elvis Presley conspiracy video, if we can find a good one, that sounds fun. Or, what else did I say? How... This really shows the pluralities of the Dome. Elvis Presley conspiracy documentary, or how Parliament was formed in the United Kingdom. It's going to be one of those two things tomorrow, my friends. If you had a great time tonight, my name is Mr. Rotella. We are live every Monday through Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern for all your misinformation needs. Make sure to hit that Rumble like button. Make sure to hit that Rumble follow button. And until tomorrow night, a bally-ho. My friends, if you do want to hang out, continue to hang out with the world-famous Dome Chad, go hang out with long-time Domer Outlaw Dogs, who is streaming about butterflies. Bally-ho.